Well, guys, there's a couple of interesting news this week. We're gonna start with first of all, one of my favorite bands, like I've told before, Ice Earth is gonna be having their new album coming up out on the end of the year, hopefully, and it's gonna be called Dystopia. And this is the first album that's gonna be handled without Matt Barlow, who retired last year, if I'm not mistaken. No, in this year, March of this year. And said, after he came back and then went away, and now he's going back. And so this new guy, whose name I just forgot, Stu Block from Into Eternity, is going to be taking over vocally. Lyrically, John Schaefer, the guitarist, is the one who does it, but Stu Block's now going to be doing the vocals. I haven't heard Into Eternity, and I've set my mind that I have to, because I want to be ready when Ice Earth releases Dystopia this week, this year, hopefully. And but I have hope that John has acknowledged the fact that Ice Earth is a band that works better with a lower pitch voice rather than a higher pitch one, as it happened with with Repro once. But we'll see what happens. For all of you J-Rock lovers, with the first of two news this week is that about 2 weeks from now, on June 28th, Japan is going to be releasing their new single, which is going to be called Jade. And apparently it's the first song that is going to be, completely done in... Oh, no. It's the first single from an album that's made in English, which is, weird, because J-Rockers usually stick to their guns in singing in Japanese. But I think it's very interesting. Japan is definitely a band that has a lot of history behind them, and I think it's one of the first bands. It was one of the bands that most people identify J-Rock with, besides Lark and CL and Did and Grey, which we're going to be talking about, or maybe what's this band? It's not Maldis Miser. So maybe, I think it's very interesting. Also in the gothic metal world news, if you guys have been keeping in touch with Elis, that first of all, they lost their singer, the original singer, Sabin Dunzer, due to a brain hemorrhage, and then they hooked up with Sander Slaret, and they had what appeared to be a very interesting relationship. I think the Catharsis worked rather well as an album, and we talked about that they parted ways with her, and now they have announced that they're gonna be, they found a great singer, and they wish Sandra the best or whatever. And the singer, their name is Simone Christinet from Legend Aria and Felony. I personally haven't heard any of those bands, but I saw the girl, and I have to go and be a male pig, and realize that she's a really, really nice looking girl. And I think the guys in Elis have very good. They have made very good choices for singers, especially even from the start when they had Celine. So I don't think it's gonna be a lot of problems. I'll have to wait to hear any sample with her singing. Maybe I should check out the what's behind the scenes, but I think it's very interesting. It's gonna be coming out this week. I hope you had the chance. I couldn't put it up for you there, but for those of you who are fans of Trivium, there's a new video from the song called In Waves, which we already told was the title track for their new album. And we have all the details, and it's gonna be coming out on August 9th. It'll be on Roadrunner Records. It was recorded in Audio Hammer Studios in Sanford, Florida, with the production and mixing done by Colin Richardson, who has worked with Machine Head, both from Valentine, Slipknot, and Fear Factory, and alongside with Martin Ginge Ford, and engineer Carl Bound. Apparently the album is not a concept album, but there are visual, whatever that means, and sonically and visually aesthetics that tie the album together. But it's not something that's gonna be a concept album in the traditional sense. There's two special editions. Well, two editions, a normal edition and a special edition. The first one's gonna be about well, the special edition. It's 18 track longs, but it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 songs that are marked here as bonus tracks. So that means the normal album would be about 13 songs long. It has Capitalizing the Sea, In Waves, Inception of the End, Dust Dismantle, Watch the World Burn, Black, A Skyline Severance, Ensnare the Sun, Built to Fall, Caustic, Other Ties That Bind, Forsake Not a Dream, Drowning in Slow Motion, A Grey So Dark, Chaos Reigns, I like the title, All of These Yesterdays, Leaving This World Behind, Shattering the Skies Above, and Slave New World, which I think, wasn't that an Iron Maiden song? Well, anyway, whatever. These guys have this 18 long album. I'm gonna be checking out just to see how it is. I saw the video for In Waves, and I really didn't like it that much. I thought it was rather simple. But the special edition is gonna be coming out with a bonus DVD, which when they're playing, we're gonna be playing In Waves live, and also a documentary about In Waves, and of course In Waves the video. We also talked about last week about how this band that I liked, Karen, had gone the way of the dinosaur, and now Harmaja, which is the Finnish acoustic project from JP Lepalovoto from Sharon, was gonna be entering the Petrax studio in July 11th. So that was about a week ago, and they're gonna be having with Mara Salmin to record its third album for hopefully a release this year, at the end of this year, which is of course not a surprise. I always thought that as soon as Sharon announced that they were gonna be splitting up, that the other bands for Karen individual members were gonna be starting popping out or announcing that they were doing a lot of stuff, which is exactly what happened, especially with Armada. Well, there's been a lot of buzz about Metallica having a secret project with something different from being Metallica as it is. They have announced that the secrets, they're gonna be making a whole new album with a legendary guitarist, Lou Reed. Apparently, it's gonna be something like Lou Reed had already most of the music written, and he just made Metallica somewhat like his baking band. They say it's not like that, but it's apparently what they've been doing. Apparently, it's very interesting. I'm definitely gonna be checking out. I mean, Lou Reed's a guy who has a lot of trajectory. It's somebody who, even if you don't, how do you mean? What do I say? Even if you're not a fan of his work, you are definitely gonna be knowing his work, or you might know the Velvet Underground, which is one of his the band which is known for before. And overall he's a very good, very great guy and super influential, and I think Metallica picked the right step to go. So we're gonna be checking that out and telling you guys about more information about that when it happens. Mike Portnoy, Russell Allen, Rick Ward, and Mike Orlando have also joined forces in a new band. As you know, Mike Portnoy has been prone to do, called Adrenaline Mob. It's basically, like I said, Dream Theater, Avenged Sevenfold drummer Mike Portnoy, Symphony X frontman Russell Allen, guitar virtuoso Mike Orlando from Sonic Stomp, and bassist Paul DeLeo. And guitarist for Stock Mojo and Fozzy, Rick Ward, which I think I've listened to Chris Jericho saying that he's one of the greatest underrated guitarists of all time, which I think it's a bold statement. They say they have a new album, and it's not technical. It's basically they tried to do something like Nickelback Hinder-ish stuff, like straight up rock. No, they said that this other band that I like a lot, I can't remember this name, but anyway, what I say, it's not gonna be like extremely technical. It's gonna be rather more fun for them to do, which I think is very interesting, like straight up rock and roll rather than doing the usual technical stuff, which we all know that these guys can do easily. So I think it's interesting. They're in Grey, which is we talked about their album title for Dumb Spirit Sparrow. I also put up the cover for that on the Facebook page. I think it's very interesting, very pretty. A lot of green going in there. Anyway, we have the track listing for it. It's gonna be having a lot of versions. The first one is gonna be a deluxe version of the CD with 2 bonus tracks, a double LP, a digital download of the album, of course, an exclusive T-shirt design, and an autograph poster. I think it's one of the, if you have, this one of the special editions. Well, I'm gonna be going to the track listing. Hopefully my Japanese is not bad. I'm just gonna read them as they are, so let's see what happens. The first one is Hyokotsu no Nari, and then we have the Blossoming Beelzebub, Different Sense, Amon, and Yokusu ni Dreambox, or Aruiwa Seijuku no Rinen Tutsem Sumetai Ame, Huyoku, Shitataru Moru, Lotus, Diabolos, Akatsuki, Decayed Crow, Hageshisa to Konomune no Naka de Karamitsuita, Shakunetsu no Yami, Vanitas, Ruten no To, and then we have 2 bonus tracks, which is Rasetsukoku and Amon on a symphonic version. So overall the album is 14 tracks long, and if you get the special edition, you're gonna be having 16 songs. So it's I think it's a fair deal. Hopefully it's gonna be very good. I know a couple of girls who are gonna be very interested in that, and I think it's gonna be very, very good. Also be checking it out just for the morbid curiosity, so to speak. Vader, we also talked about, and I also put up their new album as Welcome to the Morbid Reich, which is going to be coming out on August the 12th in Europe, and September the 13th, in North America, out through Nuclear Blast record. Was recorded at Hertz Studio in Bialystol, Poland, and the cover was done by Zbigniew Bielak, who has also worked with Destroyer 666 and Watine. It's 12 songs, and it was mixed and mastered in May. 12 songs long. We have Ultima Thule, Return to the Morbid Reich, The Black Eye, Come and See My Sacrifice, Only Hell Knows, I Am Who Feasts Upon Your Soul, Don't Rip the Beast's Heart Out, I Had a Dream, Lord of Thorns, Decapitated Saints, They Are Coming, and Black Velvet and Skulls of Steel, which I think is a very typically Vader titles. I mean, death metal, what else would you ask for? But I think they're very interesting. For reviews, I'm going to be talking about 2 great albums that one of them I can call one of my favorite albums, one or the other I think is very good. The first one is going to be talking about Dead End Dreaming's End of Green's Dead End Dreaming, which came out in 2005. It's one of those albums that I stumbled into. Dead End Green are described and here in the Encyclopedia Metallium as depressive rock right now, and I think it's one of the best way to describe. These guys are somewhat in the vein of Lacrimas Profundere in their newer sense, if you know what I'm talking about. It's 12 songs, but one or two of them are bonus tracks. It's basically songs about depression, being having problems with your life. There's a couple of songs that I like particularly, like Speed Might Rock, which has a very nice beat to it. Sick One, I think, is also a great song. So Many Voices, I think it's one of the great song. And of course, Drink Myself to Sleep. It's a very, very depressive song, but very powerful. It's one of those, overall, it's one of those albums that I can listen to when I'm feeling very down, and it always lifts me up. I can't stress enough how really interesting this album is. It's I think you could also compare it with Sentence, in the sense that it's one of those albums that is quite morbid and quite depressive, but at the same time you listen to it and you start feeling very, very upbeat, and they have a special sound which is like kind of oppressive, but the dynamics and the music make it very interesting for you to hear when you're not when you're listening to it, and you don't get that depressive. I mean, it's uplifting depressive music, so to speak. There's also a video track for one of the tracks, which was Dead End Hero, which I think is very, it might be somewhat repetitive, the song, but at the same time I think it's very interesting, and I think it does the purpose that it should, which is introduce you to the rest of the album, which I think I think Dead End Hero is a very interesting track. And the other album that I'll be talking about, it's like I said, one of my favorites, and the reason why I get into this band, it's Anathema's Alternative 4, which is doesn't say here, one of the albums that Anathema did. It's the fourth album, and it's one of the albums where you start seeing a change from Anathema being doom metal, or rather exclusively doom metal, into being more and more shying away from all those black metal voices, and just doing this trippish black doom gothic metal stuff, alternative metal stuff, that they did very good. And it's one of the best albums of Anathema up to from my point of view. Also very depressive, very interesting. It was produced by Keith Wolven, which who also did some production for Cradle of Filth, another band that I like quite a lot. And well, the book, it's called Alternative 4, is based on a book which is called Alternative 3, and it's all about conspiracy theories and stuff. And the album is basically most about trust. I think I remember reading somewhere that the story was about how the world was going to end, and they had this idea that the world could be saved by three different plans. And these guys, they made out the fourth alternative, which is that the world should not be saved, or doesn't deserve to be saved. I think it's very interesting band. The album, I think, like I said, I think it's very good. There's about there's two editions. The normal one, the one I have, I think, which is about 10 songs long, about 45 minutes long. Like I said, it has Shroud of Falls, which is a great song. Fragile Dreams, it's a heart-wrenching song. Empty, also very good song. Lost Control, and then from down there from Empty, for me, from Lost Control onwards, it's just a trip. It's an album you have to sit down and listen to it in peace and tranquility, and have a drink by your side while you're listening to it. So it's 10 songs, and there's a 2004 reissue which has 4 additional songs, not part of the album. They are 3 Pink Floyd covers, which include Your Possible Past, One of the Few, Goodbye Cruel World, and a Bad Religion cover called Better Off Dead, which I remember listening to the reissue, and it's well, of course I'm more interested in the concept album of Alternative 3, or the conception of the album as it is, but I think it makes a great the new songs make a great addition. So overall, check it out, both albums. Like I said, Alternative 4 is something that you have to listen to quietly, being in your room by yourself, or maybe perhaps with a few friends, or maybe drinking something relaxing for yourself. And meanwhile, I think Dead and Dreaming is something that you can listen to when you're a bit sad too, but you wanna let go of that tension in yourself. Both albums definitely 8 over there. I want to give it Alternatives 4 even a 10, but I don't know. I think Alternative 4 just builds up and never lets go. I think it's part of the idea that having this oppressive sound and depressive thing, but I think sometimes it just builds up and it stops its tension and never goes out, and you're left with that at the end of the night. Anyway, other than that, it's a great album. Let's give them both a 9. Yeah, we're gonna be giving them both a 9. I think they're both great albums, very well produced, and that's it for this week, kids. Bye.